Guys, today we are going to discuss about cell death. It is divided into necrosis and apoptosis. So necrosis is a pathological condition whereas apoptosis takes place in both pathological as well as physiological conditions. Etiology. Etiology is nothing but cause of the disease. So it is divided into hypoxia, ischemia. Hypoxia is nothing but decrease in oxygen supply. Ischemia is blood decrease in blood supply. Physical injury is maybe mechanical. Extreme changes in temperature and pressure. Chemicals that may be oxygen radicals as well as any radiation. Biological agents which includes pathogens, bacteria and viral. Nutrition, genetics and aging. So whenever a bacteria or a foreign particles enter in our body, the cells and tissues will perform special activities against the foreign body. So these includes cellular adaptations. Cellular adaptations, they are hyperplasia, increase in the cell number, metaplasia, which is in change in or metamorphosis of epithelial cells. Atrophy is nothing but change in the or decrease in the cell size. Hypertrophy is increase in cell size. So these are we discussed clearly in the next video. Reversible cell injury. Whenever the cell adaptations cannot maintain the use of the foreign body, then it goes under reversible cell injury. Even after the removal of the agent, it can becomes to a normal condition. Even though it cannot be maintained, then it leads to irreversible cell injury, which is a necrosis and apoptosis. So necrosis, let comes to a definition. Cellular death characterized by denaturation of proteins as well as enzymatic digestion. So in this concept, you should perfectly remember denaturation of the proteins as well as enzymatic digestion. Next, what are the characteristics of necrosis? Irreversible cell injury. It is not a reversible, only pathological conditions but no physiological conditions. It is takes place in a group of cells die because whenever it takes place there is enzyme release. Enzymes are released out released out which cause death of all the group of tissue but not a single cell, whereas in apoptosis it takes place even in a single cell. So features, what are the features of necrosis? So here pycnosis. So generally the main characteristic of any cell death is nothing but the loss of nucleus. So here pycnosis is nothing but decrease in nuclear size. And karyohexis. Karyohexis is nothing but the breakdown of the chromatin material and leads to form a small debris. So then karyolysis. Karyolysis is nothing but complete breakdown of the nucleus. Mitochondrial cell damage and as well as plasma blebs. Plasma blebs is nothing but formation of pinpoint of the cytoplasm of the cell. Like take this example as a cell with nucleus which is later destroyed, whereas a small part is pinched out of the cell into a little droplet. Then it is comes out. So this is nothing but plasma blebs. So these are the features of necrosis. So what are the types of necrosis? Based on these characteristics, it is divided into different types of necrosis. First, we are discussing about coagulative necrosis. Coagulative necrosis is nothing but protein degradation is major. Because of this, the cell structure will be maintained itself. So it only occurs in the solid organs like spleen, heart, kidney. So outline of the cell is persisted. Therefore, it is appear in the form of dome shaped appearance. Next, dorsally view Grossly, it is viewed as pale, firm, and swollen, and later it becomes a yellow, softened, and shrunken based on the condition in earlier conditions as well as earlier. Later. Next, what are the example? Myocardial infarction. Every infractions are come to the coagulation necrosis. So let's come to a diagram. Here you can observe in this is a clear vision of a kidney. You can observe a necrosis part. Here the place of the infraction takes place, decrease in the supply of blood supply, and this is the later part which cause damaging. So here when you histological slide you can clearly observe the cell structure cannot be damaged, it is persistent. So this is nothing but coagulative necrosis. Then next, liquefactive necrosis. It is majorly caused by bacterial infection, pus forming bacteria and abscess formation. Soft organs like brain is majorly takes place. Then enzymatic digestion is predominant. This is because of this in the previous coagulative necrosis takes place only protein. So here protein degradation, but here enzymatic digestion. Because of this it leads to a characteristic order as well as the change in the total organ, loss of structural details. So because of this cell cannot be distinguished. So here this is example a section of a cerebrum brain. So here you can clearly observe the abscess is formed. The abscess is formed from the necrosis, and it clearly not visible any structure. A abscess is formed in which the fluid is accumulated in the brain. It is known as liquefactive necrosis. Caseous necrosis. It is a special type of necrosis that is only applicable to a mycobacterial infection which cause TB. So the name indicates is a cheese-like appearance. So as when you compare to the microscopic observation, it is granular and eosinophilic. So here you can clearly observe the caseous type of necrosis in which the holes are porous and cheese-like appearance can be easily seen here. What is fat necrosis? So it only takes place in two organs like pancreas as well as breast because it is contains a fat droplets. So here when there is a breast trauma takes place, an injury to the breast, it is leading to a fat necrosis. In acute pancreatitis also there is a release of the fatty acids into the body, and these cause an elevated fatty acids along with elevated calcium levels. Keep it in mind. So activation of pancreatic leads to called acute pancreatitis. So these elevated fatty acids as well as calcium, they both mixed leads to formation of a calcium chalk-like appearance. This is nothing but saponification. Fatty acids combine with calcium leading to chalk flakes formation. So let's go to slides. So these nothing but these soap like, or you can say a chalk like appearance, whitish color. These are clearly appeared in case of fat necrosis. Next final, it's a fibrinoid necrosis. Fibrinoid necrosis. So in fibrinoid necrosis, immune complex destruction takes place. This is called hypertension because it majorly causes the blood vessels. Special type of necrosis. So in tunica media of the blood vessels, reddish appearance as well as smudgy appearance is nothing but, so we can go on to a slide. It takes place indistinguished. And also we cannot classify them whether it is necrosis or plasma protein degradation. Let's get to the slide. So here you can clearly observe a smudgy appearance takes place in the tunica media because of this necrosis. So this is a total topic about necrosis. We meet in the next video of apoptosis. Thank you.